Imagine if Valve actually released a third Left 4 Dead game by the same team that worked on the very first Left 4 Dead. That's essentially what Back 4 Blood is. Not a canon sequel, but a spiritual successor by Turtle Rock Studios, previously known as Valve South, now an independent studio that's going back to its roots. Having experimented with asymmetrical multiplayer gameplay in the lukewarmly received title Evolve, Back 4 Blood combines the classic zombie co-op gameplay of Left 4 Dead with some of the clever mechanics of something like Evolve. If you grew up playing Left 4 Dead, then Back 4 Blood will feel reminiscent of the early days of middle school or high school with your friends. There are currently 4 playable characters, each with a unique secondary weapon that helps each differentiate themselves from the other beyond just how they look. These humans, called cleaners in the game, have survived the year of the zombie apocalypse. They're not survivors, they're warriors, ready to take on the infected not in search of salvation, but in hopes of creating it. The heavy on co-op gameplay puts together 4 players to run through a multi-part act of zombie slaying and map maneuvering. Each player starts off with their selected character and a handful of copper, this game's currency. It's with that currency that players can invest in new explosives, refills, items, and even gun attachments. This concept became more interesting the moment I learned that we get access to this shop after every round of an act. At the start of every round, I was balancing out what I should spend my money on. Should I invest in some grenades or save my money and hope that by the next round, I have enough for a medkit? That risk and reward was exciting and often led to strategizing with my teammates who, at the time, were complete strangers. The gunplay felt nostalgic, a mix of an arcade shooter with a bit of tactical mechanics, though with a heavier lean on the arcade gameplay. Playing through the single act available in this alpha, a group of strangers and I spent the next 40 minutes just having a blast taking on zombies. Even with just the single map, we were able to see quite a bit of variety thanks to the card system implemented with this title. You see, while the maps remain the same, their content and enemies don't. Both the human players and the game director, that's the computer's AI, use a set of card modifiers to change up the gameplay and thus keep each map feeling unique from the rest. The game director adapts to the human players, choosing which zombies to place where and where certain weapons can be found. In a way, it makes this game a bit of a roguelike, adding some welcome variety. And it was a welcome change of pace, as once you learned and mastered a map in Left 4 Dead, there was very little keeping it fresh outside of just the people you played the map with. For example, a room that had a bunch of guns in one run might have a horde of zombies in another. Perhaps a room filled with copper now features an alarm that'll alert zombies the moment you open it. No single run is like the other, and that was refreshing. Likewise, players can pick up their own sets of cards that affect the gameplay. Perhaps a buff that heals your entire team when you revive someone, or something that makes you more fire resistant. Every round of an act shows not only your team's cards, but also the game director's, letting you accordingly plan how to take on the next round. At the moment, Turtle Rock Studios says that these will be unlocked simply by playing the game and completing objectives. In theory, the more you play, the better cards you will unlock, though players should be rightfully fearful of these leading to microtransactions, especially considering how Turtle Rock Studios and 2K handle microtransactions in Evolve. Perhaps that's just the pessimistic side of me speaking, but I'm hoping for the best. Back 4 Blood will be available next June for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, both through Steam and the Epic Games Store. With this many platforms, hopefully we can see some sort of crossplay feature added in, especially considering there's going to be an 8-player PvP mode. Although this alpha test is over now, at least by the time you're watching this video, there should be more opportunities to play prior to launch both PC and console sides, so stay tuned for that. And as always, for more game impressions, previews, and reviews just like this, make sure you're subscribed for more content that'll be coming out soon. I'll see you all in the next one.